Hi, and welcome to CyberOne Certification and Training. If you're here for training today, but you'd like to learn more about how you can be certified as a CyberOne expert, then you can contact your account manager or just email us at support@cb1security.com. Okay, today we're in the vendor management training section, and we're going to be looking at the general platform and just give you an overview of all of the different functionality in the vendor management platform for vendor risk management. Okay, so let's start by getting into our management platform. Okay, so here we are in the management platform, and as you can see, I'm in the vendor management module, and I'm just going to give you a brief overview of all of these different segments here in our list tabs menu. So first, let's go to our vendor tab. This is where we upload and keep all of our vendor records. And if we just go into a vendor record, which we can do by searching or just going down the list view, you can see that this is where we can onboard vendors. This is where we track all of the activity related to the specific vendor. And we can build out the vendor management program from these records, and they basically match to these different activity tabs along the top here, as you can see. So once we've onboarded our vendors, we can create engagements. So engagements are the activities or contracts that the vendor is fulfilling for the organization. And of course, we can do risk management and or send out assessments on these engagements as well. The contacts list, then we always keep this in the modules because we need to make sure that we have our vendor contacts added. These are kept in the vendor record as a primary contact, the person that we're going to reach out to for assessment. And these primary contacts for the vendors must be listed and registered as contacts in the CyberOne system. To do this, see our Getting Started training section, which tells you how to register contacts on the system. So next we go to our assessment templates. This is where we keep all of our assessment templates, or we can create assessment templates that can be stored in this tab to send to vendors for assessments. And then next along, then you'll see that here is where we send our assessments. In the assessments tab, this is where we can see all the assessments that have been sent out and their due dates. And then once those assessments have been sent out, in the targets section, we can actually monitor who they were sent to and the status of that assessment. So when they've been responded to. So in this case, these are the ones that are still open, awaiting response when the status is open. These are ones that have been submitted for review. These are ones that are where the submission has been verified and findings have been created, if there are any findings. And these are assessments where the status is closed. So this is when the cycle has been finished. So as you can see, our target could be a vendor, or it could be an engagement in this case. And then one of the things we can also do is we can see the assessment answers, all of the assessment answers in this record here. And we can see that by the target and see how they've responded. Or to verify and validate the assessment results, what we do is we actually, easier to go into the assessment target record, and we can click on results when those assessments come in. So let's find one that's actually been submitted. And there we can go into the assessment results, as you can see, and see the responses and begin the mitigation or remediation process. So findings then are also available for view in the vendor management module. If assessments come back negative and findings need to be created, they can all be tracked here, created when you do the assessment results review, and then again tracked in this findings tab. And then finally, we can do risk metrics if we're going to be categorizing these risks and issues and add them to the risk register and monitor the results here. And finally, we do have the ability also to do document requests for the vendor. These are special document requests that we send out, that we can send out, for example, for a SIG report or a SOC report, or as you can see here, PCI attestations, so on and so forth. So, and again, vendor document requests can be monitored here for their status and for when they're being returned. So that basically is an overview of the vendor management module and all the different capacities that you can activate in this program. So a full assessment process. And then the one thing we didn't mention because it's not in a tab, but also beyond the traditional assessment process, and we go into this in the training. If we go into one of our vendor records again, beyond the traditional risk assessment process that is basically mapped out here in the different tabs, we can also do continuous risk monitoring or AI risk assessment through our integration with BitSight or Whitehawk. And we can add, as you can see there, BitSight reports into these different vendor records to track and monitor external risk on a continuous and ongoing basis. So that gives you an overview of the vendor management module, and now we'll go into the specific training sections where you can see how each of these different workflows come together. So that concludes our training for today.